won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's S-U-P-P-S, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the WNBA coverage of the first season, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm excited for this because I have been following the WNBA for about 3-ish years. Yes, 3-ish years. So just some context. I was actually debating on whether I was going to start another show. I have a lot going on. Didn't know if I was biting off more than I can chew, but I figured screw it. You know, why not? So just some context. I really started keeping up with the WNBA in 2021 when Chicago Skies won their first WNBA championship, because the playoffs are televised. It's hard to watch during the season because of just them competing with TV time between the NBA and the NFL. Not so much the NFL, but just competing TV time. But I was able to watch the playoffs for the 2021 WNBA season, and I was excited, and I'm hooked. So I've been keeping up with them ever since. I'm a huge Candace Parker fan. I'm from Tennessee. She played at the University of Tennessee, so I've been kind of following Candace Parker since pretty much 2006, 2007, and kind of followed her into the WNBA. I'm also a Becky Hammon fan, who is currently the head coach for the Las Vegas Aces, which is currently my favorite team in the WNBA. But when she was working with the San Antonio Spurs under Greg Popovich, I just became a fan. Thought she was going to be the first woman coach to be a head coach in the NBA. But she is when I found out she was the head coach for the Las Vegas Aces during the 2021 season, I immediately was like, okay, bet I need to watch the Las Vegas Aces because I'm such a Becky Hammon fan. So that's kind of how I got into it. And Las Vegas Aces, back-to-back championships, 2022, 2023. And now we're here at the 2024 WNBA season. So real quick, just how I do with the NBA, I'm going to go over standings and kind of just some standout players that we have going on for the WNBA. So first, again, I'm excited for the sport to grow. As you all probably know, Caitlin Clark has brought a lot of viewership to the WNBA. Not just Caitlin Clark, but she did bring a lot of viewership from the people that were fans of her at Iowa into the WNBA, as well as players like Angel Reese, who I was also a big fan of, that played at LSU. I follow SEC college. I follow SEC sports across the board, where it's SEC track, softball, baseball, basketball, women and men's sports. So LSU representing, I'm a huge Angel Reese fan as well. But let's just go ahead and get straight into it. Nothing crazy. So let me pull up my notes. So we're just gonna go over the standings. For those of y'all that don't know, this might be new for some people, but if you're watching this, I appreciate you for taking the journey with me in this WNBA season. But there are 12 teams in the WNBA, similar to the NBA. You have the Eastern and Western Conference. So right now, the Connecticut Suns actually got a chance to see the game of the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Suns today. Dominating win, first team to 10 wins. They are 10-1 on the season. I believe their loss was to the New York Liberty, which was sitting in at number 2 in the Eastern Conference. It's Connecticut Suns at 1, Liberty is 2. We have Atlanta Dreams at 3, Chicago Skies at 4, Indiana Fever at 5, and the Washington Mystics are sitting there last in the East, and they are 0-12. Indiana Fever, with their loss tonight, puts them the second team with 10 losses there, starting off season a little rough at 3-10. But Caitlin Clark, as an individual, is playing well for a rookie season. But I think we're expecting more, but she's playing well. A little bit of inconsistency here and there. She just shooting slumps here and there. We're just getting adjusted to the change of pace from college to the professional level. And turnovers are kind of a bit high, but I do believe she's going to figure out the turnovers and start making waves. She had a 30-point game a couple games ago, so she's definitely scoring on all levels, definitely killing it from three-point line and shooting, these deep balls. But the Indiana Fever are starting off a little rough. In the West, we have the Minnesota Lynx. They are 8-3. We have the Seattle Storm at 2. Las Vegas Aces, shout out Las Vegas Aces at 3. Phoenix Mercury at 4. The LA Sparks at 5. And the Dallas Wings are at 6. Now, the season's just getting started. We're at about the 12-game mark. But I do want to highlight that the Western Conference Player of the Month, A'ja Wilson is playing absolutely phenomenal. She's by far the best, I believe, in my opinion, the best WNBA player right now. She's averaging 28.3 points per game, 11.6 rebounds, and 2.6 assists per game. And then for the Eastern Conference, Alyssa Thomas, shout out Alyssa Thomas, she was selected to be in the, and A'ja, they're both selected to be on the USA Olympic team. Alyssa Thomas averaging 12.7 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, and 8.6 assists. So we're also going to go over the leaders. So points per game, we got A'ja Wilson at 28.3, sitting there at the top. I'm going to butcher some of these names. I am sorry. But we have Arik Agubole. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right at all, but I apologize. She's averaging 26.4. Cooper for the Phoenix Mercury, averaging 24 points per game. Collier, 21.4. And Hamby at 20.4. Rebounds per game, A'ja Wilson again, averaging 11.8. Hamby at 11.4. Collier at 11.4. Thomas at 9.6. Angel Reese at 9.6. So Angel Reese and Thomas are tied there at 4th for rebounds per game. Assists per game, Alyssa Thomas. Again, we got, stellar athletes leading the charge or in the top statistical categories in multiple categories. We have Cloud at 7.6, Young at 7, Clark at 6.3. Caitlin Clark. I was thinking of a different Clark. Caitlin Clark at 6.3 and Diggin Smith at 5.7. Steals per game, we got Bole at 3.2, Howard at 2.8, Collier at 2.2, Brianna Stewart at 1.9, Angel Reese there at 1.9. A'ja Wilson is leading blocks per game at 3. Mag Bagor at 3, Brink at 2.8, Mack at 2.1, and Smith at 2.0. So A'ja Wilson and, I'm sorry if I'm butchering her name, but Magibor, they both are averaging 3 steals per game. Now, I'm not 100% sure. There's I believe it is called the Commissioner's Cup game that they're having, but the top team in the East, top team in the West are going to play against each other in this it's kind of similar to the in-season tournament that the NBA is having, but I'm excited to see how the season plays out. The Connecticut Suns right now just playing unbelievable basketball. The ball movement's phenomenal. They're making shots. They're really getting their 4 and their 5. They're big, I guess I should say men, but their 4 and their 5, their bigs are getting involved in the game. I don't know everybody's name, but bear with me. But their bigs are just running the floor, running down the middle. A lot of the fast breaks. You have the guards going to the wings. You have your 4, your 5s going down the middle of the field, and they're dishing down for easy transition buckets, and they're also scoring off of turnovers. Liberty is also playing well. They're sitting there at 2nd. They're 11-2. And if I remember correctly, Sabrina is playing absolutely phenomenal. I'm a fan of Sabrina as well. And she's averaging 17.8 points per game, 5.5 assists, 4.4 rebounds. She's shooting 34.8% from the free throw line. Her true shooting is about 56%. So she's leading the charge with New York Liberty. And then shout out to my Las Vegas Aces, A'ja Wilson, as well as Kelsey Plum, who's also one of my favorite players in WNBA. They're both playing phenomenal. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams fare as the season get going. There is a big gap in the East between Liberty and the Atlanta Dreams. Atlanta Dreams are 5-4. Liberty is 11-2. The Connecticut Suns are at 10-1. Obviously, the Liberty have played more games, so they have more losses. That's why they're sitting there at 2. But Liberty could go and win a couple games, and if Connecticut loses a couple, that 1 and 2 spot could easily flip. So 1 and 2 for the East is a tight race there, and it's a tight race between the 1 and 2 for the West, between Minnesota Lynx and the Seattle Storm. So as we get going here, it's early in the season. As we get going, we're gonna see players make moves, teams make adjustments, and we're gonna see if it's going to be a tight race down here the line, especially with the Commissioner Cups coming up, as well as, you know, some good basketball. So first episode, I don't have much. I honestly decided I've been debating on doing a WNBA coverage for a couple weeks, pretty much since the season started. Wasn't 100% sure, but I went on a whim today and said, you know what, I might as well go. And, you know, if I get through one season and I don't think I can keep it up, then I'll just get one season in. But I do want to continue this if I can. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, I don't have much since the season just started, but we will see players dominate, players move up, players move down, teams move up, teams move down. And I'm going to be excited to kind of break down how the league is playing out as these teams continue to fight and compete for that WNBA championship. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know this is a short one, but I'm going to try to keep it short, simple, and sweet. And we'll catch you guys next week for the WNBA coverage.
I'm gonna chase my dreams. My life has